Okay, hello everybody.
Hello, Bhante. Everyone, can you please unmute? Can you put your hand at your chest, please? Everyone say, hello, Venerable Sir.
Hello, Venerable Sir.
Yes, hello everybody. Alright, so let's sit in a comfortable meditation posture. I'm happy for all those who came nicely on time. Ideally, you come 5 minutes before the starting time so that you have time to get your notebook, you have time to go to toilet, you have time to adjust your camera. So ideally, you always come 5 minutes before we start this meeting, before the class. Alright, so make sure your back is erect. We will meditate with eyes open. We will keep our eyes a little bit open. We will see the floor in front of us or whatever is right in front of us. And we will make the first determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. And with that determination, we can gently, lovingly notice the flat piece of flesh at the top of the head. We allow it to be heavy. We continue to the forehead, eyes, nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, back of the head. We allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the head to be heavy. And we check whether our back is erect. If the back is not erect, we will erect the back. And we continue to the neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, tips of fingers, chest, abdomen, back, we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the upper part of the body to be heavy. And we again check whether the back is erect. If it's not erect, we will erect the back. And we continue to the buttocks, thighs, knees, calves, heels, soles, toes, tips of toes. We allow all of the body, all of the muscles and flesh throughout the body to be heavy. And as we allow the body to be the way it is, we achieve freedom from worry about the body. Let's enjoy this freedom. Let's watch this peace. Now, when we have established ourselves in peace, we can share it with other living beings. May all beings in this room be in peace. May all beings in this building be in peace. May all beings in this city or village be in peace. May all all beings in this country be in peace. May all beings on this planet be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. Now, because the time for this sitting is finished, let's make the last determination. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. And with that determination, we can slowly, mindfully change the way of our sitting. And we can take one more minute, during which we will not move at all, just like a statue, and we will be curiously watching what's going on in the mind. Is there any feeling, or does the mind provide you with any seeing or hearing? How does the seeing process or hearing process work? How does feeling work? Where is it in the body, in the mind? Okay, very well. So, I would like to ask you, everybody, to go to your screen and think about your experience in your meditation. So, we will be now grading the peace that you gained in meditation, all right? 0 peace would be as if you were boiling in hell. You would be boiling in boiling water. You would be so nervous, so uncomfortable, so angry, so disappointed. So that's 0, okay? 10 would be as if you were in heaven, almost flying in the sky. 5 would be something average. Okay, some peace, but nothing special, not bad, not good either. All right? So you are grading, you're giving a mark, you're giving a grade to your peace that you had in those 10 minutes of meditation. So some of you may say, for example, 4. It was a little worse than average, a little worse than normal. Or some of you may say 7. It was pretty good, could be better. Some of you may say 5. Nothing special, just some peace. Some of you may say 10. May feel like you were in heaven, almost flying in the air. So I want you all to go to see your chat box in Zoom and to tell me just the number. Just write the number. You are writing one number from 0 to 10. You're grading your piece. You can start right now. So come close to your screen and tell us the grade of your piece, 0 to 10. If you have already written it, please do not write it again and do not correct it. Keep it as is. I'm giving you 25 more seconds to come, think, and write. 20 seconds. You're just writing one number, that's all.
Seattle.
Yes.
Everybody was typing it to everyone and knowing it's useless. Why don't they use like descriptive messages? Because that exists in the chat box. Right above, there's like 2. You can write to a certain person, and if they just search up AR, then they'll just see Asha and Saranan, which is you. Why can't they do that?
Then that's too complicated. It would take us too long time. All right. Felix, count down. We are fine if you write it just one time. All right. So thank you very much. I would like to ask Tutam to dedicate a little more time and to write it in a table. So you will actually make in our attendance sheet, you will take all of the students and you will copy that below. All right, you will copy that list of the students below. All right, and then the meditation grading will come right below in the same column as the attendance. It's a different table, but the columns are the same. Did you understand me? It's the same sheet, same file, but it has, you know, a different space, right, at the bottom of the space inside that sheet. Is it clear what I'm saying? You can see something similar if you look at grade 5 or grade 2, you will see that there is a second table. It's not for meditation grading, but for homework. But that's what I mean. Okay?
Yes, that also.
Nice. So that's fine. You do not need to react to Felix. Felix needs to count down, so he needs his time. He knows what's going on. All right, so now let's move on to reciting 3 refuges, 5 precepts. So I would like to ask everybody to unmute. Okay, so you can keep your hands together at the chest and we can start right away. Yamahang vadami tang vadetha. Aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yajami. Anugraham katva. Silang detha me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Dutiyampi aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yajami. Tatiyampi aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yajami. Anugraham katva. Silang detha me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato sammasambuddhassa.
So when I nod like this, it means you can start the second time. And then when I nod like this again, you can start the third time. Let's start it again, okay? Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato sammasambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa.
Buddhang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Felix, can you tell it to me again? Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. You say that? I'm asking Felix alone.
0506 years.
I would like to hear Felix alone.
0809.
So Felix, come close to your microphone, speak loudly, and I want to hear you. Felix, I'm talking to you. Can you please keep your hands together at the chest and say it? Tatiyampi.
Say what?
Just that what I said last. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Can you say that? No, that doesn't sound like what I said. Tatiyampi. Can you pronounce very well? Tatiyampi. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Okay, that sounds good. Can you keep your hands together at the chest? Tatiyampi dhammam saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi. Can you keep your hands together? Tatiyampi sangham sanghang saranam gacchami. There is this nga sound, you know, at the end of sanghang or buddhang, dhammam, and then when you say the saranam, there's again nga sound. All right, it's very important. Okay, let's continue. Sarana gamanang paripunang. Very well. So Diana Anmin Leflufi, what is the first precept?
First precept.
Yeah. What is the first precept? Sorry, I don't hear you well. Diana, can you come close to your microphone and tell me what's the first precept? No killing, that's right. So everybody can keep your hands together at the chest. Panati pata vera manisikha padang samadhyami. Very well. So, Janvi Nguyen, what is the second precept? I don't hear you. Can you speak loudly and come close to your microphone? Janvi Nguyen. Janvi Nguyen. Are you hearing us? So I would like to ask Tutam to take him to a breakout room, you know, to resolve the microphone problem. Can you tell me what is the second precept?
No stealing.
That's right. So everybody keep your hands together at the chest. Adinna dana vera manisikha padang samadhyami. So Tutam, when I ask you to take somebody to a breakout room, I wish that you're already so professional, you know, that you can do it within 10 seconds. Do you think you can do that? You need to be very fast, otherwise they will not understand what's going on. So now third precept, Sian. Should I read you as Sian or Cyan? What is the proper way to call you?
Better go for a Cian.
Cian, okay. So Cian, can you tell me what is the third precept? Cian, I cannot hear you. Can you tell me something? Okay, good. So what is the third precept? Come close to the camera and tell me.
Do not think.
Did you say do not drink alcohol? No, that's not correct. So Wembo Waka. What is the third precept? Wembowa, are you here with us? Wembowa. So again, we need to take Wembowa to a breakout room and resolve microphone problem because it seems he doesn't see me. He doesn't hear me. What about phone 9? Oh, he's not there. So what about Fan Nguyen? Are you here with us? Can you tell me what's the third precept? Fan Nguyen, Han Fong. Fan Nguyen, Han Fong, are you here with us? Disappeared from the camera. So another person to move to the breakout room, please. Then what about those are people who usually do not talk with me, you know, so I want to start with them. Fan Nguyen, Tan Fong, are you here with me? Can you tell me what is the third precept? You see, he needs to go to the breakout room. I'm serious about that. Then let's ask Min Kwa. What is the third precept?
No sexual misconduct.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So everybody can keep your hands together at the chest. Kame sumichachara veramani sikha padang samadhiyami. Very well. So, Lucas, what is the fourth precept?
I know it.
Lucas, what is the fourth precept? Tell me something to check your microphone. Say, I don't know, or I'm thinking.
No stealing?
No, that's wrong. So what about Livia? What is the fourth precept?
No telling lies.
No telling lies. Thank you very much. Everybody keep your hands together at the chest. Musavada veramani sikha padang samadhiyami. Okay, so Cherry, what is the fifth precept?
No drinking alcohol or drugs.
Or taking drugs. Very well. Now remember to keep your hands together at the chest. Sura meraya macha pamada thana vera manisikha padang samadhiyami. Panchasilang dhammang sadhukang surakkhitang katva appamadena sampadeta. May you be healthy. May you be successful in everything you do.
Everyone.
All right, so now let's talk about the Buddha. So previously we were talking about rebirth, about the nature of rebirth. So I will ask somebody to read for me the notes from last time. So what about to start with Akari? Akari, can you read for us the notes that you wrote last time? Akari, are you here with us? Do you have your notes? Akari doesn't have her notes, so I'll ask somebody else. So what about Van An? Okay, Akari,
I think she's getting her notes.
Okay, yes. You need to have your notes ready so that within 3 seconds you can start reading. Okay, we don't have much time. You want to save that time, all right, so that we can do more things. So Akari, you can unmute yourself and start reading. You just read from me what you have in the book, that's all. You do not need to show it to us or anything else. You can read the date, and then you can read the note, whatever you wrote the last time we met. Only from the last meeting. Jasmine is drinking a lot, very well. Yeah, it's good if everybody can have a bottle of water, you know, like I'm having a bottle of water always next to me, so that you can just drink during the class. You don't need to go anywhere. So I'm waiting for Akari to find her last note. Okay. You found it? Seems like Akari is having a problem. Always be ready with your note. So now you can easily search your note. We will have to start. We don't have that much time. So I would like to ask Vo Nyathui to read for us his note. Vo Nyathui, are you here with us? Yes, I'm talking to you. We will keep Akari for next time.
Yes.
So I'm listening to your note. Just look at the note that you wrote last time that we met here and just read it for us, please.
Okay. Last week did you say that we write 5 precepts, and in Buddhism we believe in rebirth, in Hindus they believe in renunciation. Rebirth is dependent on cause and effect, and also only action and reaction. Reincarnation, a soul travel from body to body.
That's right. Very well. Thank you very much. So this is something that I like imagine. So every time when we meet, when we start, you know, talking about some story or something, you know, the main new knowledge, then I will usually ask somebody here to read their notes from the last time. So you have about 3 seconds to get it ready. What you can do is you can keep it open at the last note right next to your computer. So you need to have a notebook. You need to have it open at the last note, and you need to have a bottle of water next to your computer, so that anytime you need to drink, you can drink. Anytime I call you to read, you can read. Anytime I ask you to write, you can write. So you're ready. Okay? We don't have so much time, you know, but we have so many things to get through. So I want you to help me save the time. Somebody was raising hand. Would you still like to say something? No more? Okay, so let's move on. So today we will be looking at the book. So we will be looking at the time before the last Buddha's birth. So we, all of us, had many, many births in the past. Not like 10 or 100 or 1,000. No, all of us were born and died millions and millions and billions of times. Okay? So, have you ever seen sand? Sand, you know, is made up of these tiny little grains. Yeah. Imagine how many grains like that, how much of sand can there be in a river? That's about, let me see, how long is that river long? (2,500 kilometers long. Imagine that you have a river 2,500 kilometers long. And that river bed, you know, that bottom of the river is filled with sand, and the river is very wide, huge river. It's called Ganges. It's a huge river in India. It is 2,510 kilometers long. Did you ever walk on a tour? Did you ever walk on a tour with your parents, like going outside of your home and going through a forest and through meadow and grassland and enjoying some nature? You would usually spend whole day by going 10, 20 kilometers, and you just go and go and go. Okay? Now this river is long 2,500 kilometers. That's a lot. So you can imagine how much sand is there under the river. That's incredible. Now, can you ever count how many these little grains of sand are there in the river Ganges? Cannot. Now, each and every of these grains represents about 100,000 lives. So you had more lives, more of these 100,000 lives than there are these grains in the river Ganges. So the Buddha says that there were, or in Myanmar it is believed, that there were more Buddhas in the past than these grains of sand in the river Ganges. Now, Buddha does not appear every your life, not at all. Every maybe 100,000 lives, or maybe every million lives, maybe in average, appears one Buddha. Buddhas appear rarely. They appear rarely. Okay? So if there were this many uncountable Buddhas, and for each Buddha you would have to wait about 100,000 or a million lives, there is no way how anyone can ever count, how anyone can ever imagine how many lives we had in the past. That's unbelievable. It's so much. It's unimaginable. Okay? Now we are talking about all of these lives into the past, which are totally uncountable. And then we distinguish them from the so-called last life. What is a last life? The last life, the one last life, is the life when the person achieves the full enlightenment and gets entirely free from rebirth. No more grains, no more birth, no more arising, being born and dying again. No more. The end. Okay? So that is called the last life. The last life is the life that ends this uncountable round of birth, old age, illness, and death. And when we talk about the Buddha, we talk about the Buddha's last life, when he achieved the last enlightenment, the highest enlightenment, and when he therefore got entirely free from, being born again, from continuing in this counting of lives, end to birth, old age, illness, and death. No more. All right? So, my point is that we distinguish the last life of the Buddha and the lives before the last life. Okay? The uncountable lives before the last life, and that one life, which is the last life. Okay? Until you become fully enlightened, it is not your last life. You will be counting more and more and more and more. You will be born, you will have to learn to walk, to talk, to eat, to go to toilet. You will have to learn to go to school. You go to school, you will have to pass the exams, get the degree, get some wife or husband, raise some children, and die. And next life, again, born, learn to talk, learn to walk, learn to eat, learn to go to toilet, learn to go to school, do your exams, get the degree, get the wife or husband, raise some children, and die. And again, get born and learn to talk, learn to walk, learn to go to toilet, learn to eat, and learn to go to school, get the exams, get the degree, get the wife or husband, get the children, and die. And again, and again, and again, and again. If you're lucky. If you're not lucky, you go to hell. Or you're born as an animal. Or as a ghost. So the Buddha suggests it has been enough. So now let's get free from this. And that's when you can achieve the last life. If you work hard, you can actually make this particular life your last life. It depends. All right. So when people decide that this will be their last life, they usually decide to become nuns or monks. So now when we are talking about the Buddha's birth, we want to talk about what happened right before his birth, so that it's easier to understand the birth, in his last life. So what did the Buddha do? First, we want to find out long before that, let's say maybe 100,000 lives before the last life. We want to see the time when the Buddha really started to work on becoming a Buddha. Because although you and us can become fully enlightened in this life, we cannot become Buddha, because Buddha is somebody who teaches the teachings, the Dhamma, when it is not available yet. But the teachings is now available, so you cannot become a Buddha, because Buddha is somebody who teaches the teachings when it is not available. However, today it is available, so you cannot become a Buddha, you know what I mean? You cannot become the first teacher, because you're too late, there was already the Buddha taught the teachings and it's available. So what you can do is you can learn it. You can learn it because it's already available, and you can become fully enlightened, but not really the Buddha. All right? So you can become a disciple, a student, but you cannot become the founder, the father, so to speak, the first person who has found the teachings. So we have great respect to the Buddha, to the Buddha Gotama was his name. So the Buddha Gotama was the first person who provided this world with the teachings. There was nobody knew anything about meditation or about 5 precepts. Nobody knew anything about insight or about not self. There was some kind of knowledge, but it was not complete. It was not successful to lead you to full enlightenment or to any enlightenment at all. Before the Buddha came, there was no way how you can be enlightened. You could meditate, but the meditation would not lead you to enlightenment. So only from the moment when the Buddha came, we got the opportunity to become enlightened, because he found the way. That's why we call him the Buddha. Before that, the way was not available. Now, to become a Buddha, it is necessary to train for many lives. Perhaps hundreds of thousands of lives. That's a lot. Now, how do these lives start? What is the first life when somebody starts to train to become a Buddha? That's the first life when a Buddha, another person who's already a Buddha, says, yes, you will be a Buddha. So hundreds of thousands of lives before the last life of Gautama Buddha, long, long ago, he was born as a man, and his name was Sumedha. And this Sumedha was a very rich man. But he thought, these riches are useless. When I die, I cannot do anything with them. I cannot take them to the grave, and I cannot take them to my next life. What's this all for? Useless. Let's practice some meditation to get liberated from suffering. So he gave all of his riches to people, and he became a monk, an ascetic. An ascetic is somebody who's like a monk but lives alone and is not really part of some special group. Usually ascetics live alone, whereas monks live in a group. But there are, of course, exceptions. You can get ascetics who live in a group and monks who live alone. But usually ascetic lives alone. And so he became an ascetic in the forest. He got psychic powers. He could fly in the air. He could read other people's minds. And then he met with a Buddha at those times. And he was so happy about the Buddha. He thought he wants to become a Buddha himself. He saw the Buddha. He was so happy about the Buddha that he thought that the ascetic Sumedha thought that he also needs to become a Buddha. So he came up to the Buddha. That Buddha's name was Buddha Dipankara. Now the Buddha, our Buddha who taught us these teachings, is called Buddha Gotama. Now the Buddha Gotama, in his long ago, in his life as ascetic Sumedha, he met another Buddha called Buddha Dipankara. And this Buddha Dipankara said to ascetic Sumedha, you will become a Buddha and your name will be Gotama. And that was the time when the ascetic Sumedha started to train in so-called 10 perfections so that he could gradually become the Buddha. Okay, so after many lives of training in generosity, in morality, in renunciation, in wisdom, in effort, in patience, in truthfulness, in determination, in loving kindness, in equanimity. So he was training these 10 perfections. And then when he was perfected in these 10 things that I have just now said, he was born in heaven called Tusita. And in that heaven, Tusita, he was waiting until the circumstances, until the situation on earth here is ready for him to get his last life. And we will be reading about the Buddha to be, about the Buddha Gotama to be when he was still in heaven. And that's where we will start the story about the Buddha together in this class. All right. So this was a little introduction for you, and you will be writing from that some notes so that after you forget it, about after 5 minutes, you still have it in your notebook so that you can check it out and remind yourself. So everybody take your notebook and write your notes. We need to write the date. So for the US, it's September 01, 2023. That's USA. And it is September 02, 2023 for Vietnam or Myanmar. Okay, do not write the countries in the brackets. That's only for you to know what's related to you. So you need to write that date. You have for it exactly 30 seconds. So everybody is now writing the date. You're in a hurry because you still have 20 seconds. All right, so I will be preparing for you the note. So you can write a nice, larger heading, in the middle of the line. It will be rebirth. Okay. Everybody needs to write it all. Everything that I write in the comments, in the chat box, everybody needs to write that. Everything, every single word, every single dash, every single dot, everything, exactly as I'm writing. Okay. You need to write the word rebirth, and it's your heading. It's the main word at the top, so that you know what are these notes, related to. Okay, it's a lot today, but this is all. Now what you see in the chat box, this is all the notes for today. I would like to ask to Tom again to take it and paste it in the chat box. So I will give you all 5 minutes to write this. After you write it, you can go to sleep. Those who don't go to sleep and have questions, I will answer the questions. Now, do you remember you wrote rebirth as the heading? Add there a few words. The heading is properly rebirth and Buddhahood. Okay? So please correct your heading from rebirth into rebirth and Buddhahood. So you still have 4 minutes. Write nicely, needs to be beautiful writing. Okay? If it takes you a long time, doesn't really matter. You can continue another day from Viber. But needs to be nice so that next time when you look at it, you will be happy. Oh, I wrote so nice notes. Beautiful letters, nice spacing, well on the line. So let's look at some pictures of Ganges.
Venerable Sir, is the time finished?
Just continue writing if you want, or you can look at the pictures of Ganges that I'm sharing with you.
I see it.
So you can see the river Ganges is huge. So it would never be possible to count the amount of grains of sand in the river of Ganges. 2,500 kilometers, that's so much. Let me see, what is it similar to? So it's like traveling from San Francisco to New York. That's about the length of Ganges. Ganges is 2,900. Well, actually, it's much more. Yes, it's about half of that. Could be about half. So Ganges is about half of the way from San Francisco to New York. Okay, so whoever has finished and wants to go to sleep, you can. And I see there are some questions apparently. So, Edward, did you have a question?
It's not particularly at our topic, but how many precepts are there actually? Because I know there's more than 5.
So, Edward asked me a question and then he left. Did you see that?
You okay?
I have a question.
Edward asked me a question, then he left, then he fell on the floor, and then he came back. When you ask me a question, you need to be there, you need to listen for the answer. Otherwise, I don't want to answer when you're not here. Okay, are you fine? Did you, are you okay, Edward? Okay.
Yes, Honorable Sir.
All right. Next time when you ask question, you need to stay at the camera, right? You cannot just go here and there.
Yes, Larry.
Okay, so there are over 91 billion roles. It's counted as 91,805,036,000 roles. So you're following 5. Okay?
That is not even a quarter.
I'm following those 91 billion. So if you have any question about them, you can answer.
Well, that's a lot. We're not even a fifth then. So,
Okay.
are we in the 6th? Are we in the 20th of it? Are we in the 30th of it? Are we in the million of it?
I think you're in the billionth, less than a billionth of it. It's much easier, you see. Life of monks is a little more difficult, but as the time goes, it's possible to get used to it, and it's actually relatively comfortable. The rules are making sure that the monk's life is peaceful, happy, successful, and that monks are not criticized too much by lay people. So we have to follow a lot of rules that maintain the people's trust into monks.
Thank you, Venerable Sir.
Okay. Bennett? Have you finished writing, Bennett?
Nope.
No, so continue writing. After you finish writing, you can ask me a question. Jiangwu Kanfo, have you finished writing? Not yet. After you finish writing, you can ask me a question. Nathan, have you finished writing?
No, I'm gonna write it when I finish it.
Well, you first need to finish it, right? So you first need to write it so that you can finish it, right? You cannot finish it and then write it. That doesn't make sense.
When I finish the class,
when you finish the class, okay.
And I also have a question.
You need to write, I wish that you first write and then you ask me a question. I'll be waiting. I have time.
Okay.
Yes, anyone who wants to go can go now. If you live in the US and you want to go to sleep, those who live in Vietnam, I would recommend that you stay. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Sorry? Bennett, you have finished writing?
No, but I want to leave. So before I leave, can I tell you the question?
Okay.
Or like the thing that I'm going to tell you?
Okay, let's look at that.
Like, you mean like we have like millions and millions of lives that's uncountable? It's kind of like a similar. It's similar to like infinity. life circle.
Excuse me? What kind of life cycle?
Infinity, like
Infinity.
the life goes.
I don't think that it's infinite. I don't think that it's infinite. But the Buddha did not answer that question. The Buddha did not answer whether our lives are going into infinity, into the past, or whether they are finite. The Buddha did not answer the question, so we don't know. The Buddha, however, says that this is not important for us. The Buddha says what is important for us is to get free from the rebirth, from the cycle. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. You can go. Thank you. Yes. Great. So Jangwu Kang Form, if you have a question, you can ask. No more question? So we are waiting for Nathan to finish. As soon as I have answered your question, that's the time when our class finishes. So I'm waiting for those questions. And so I'm waiting until those who want to ask finish their writing. So Jangwu Kang Fong, why do you raise your hand?
I have a question.
You finally have a question, so I'm listening to it.
How many lives does the Buddha have?
So the Buddha has no more new lives. The Buddha has passed into Nibbana. That means the Buddha has already finished living his last life. So the Buddha is not going to be born again. No. We can never meet Buddha Gotama evermore. Nowhere. Not in the world of gods or Brahmas or humans or in the hell or as an animal or as a ghost. No more. Nobody can ever meet the Buddha Gotama anymore because he has passed into the Nibbana. So he is no more available. Ever. Ever, ever. Okay, Minkoa, do you have a question?
Well, what was the date of the first Buddha born?
You mean of the first Buddha born? You mean the first one in the past, like after many, many, many life, before many, many lives ago? That would actually show us a little what was the beginning of the existence of this rebirth. But the Buddha, our Buddha, did not reveal the answer. He said that this is not important for us, and instead we should practice so that we make this life our last life. So we actually do not know it.
Thank you, teacher.
But I wonder if actually the main point, and that's actually what the Buddha implies, if maybe the main point, main reason why the Buddha did not explain it, because it is a little different. Maybe the way how existence works is a little different than how we actually experience it. So this would be a very highly philosophical debate, and it's obvious that the Buddha did not want to get into that. But it's possible that life and existence do not work in time. Maybe they work in a different way. But I don't want to tell you because that's no more the Buddha's teachings, Those would be just some of my opinions. That would be maybe after you get to grade 5. Now this is grade 1. So we can then discuss and have a lot of fun. For the time being, you need to know the basics well so that then you can play with that. Okay? So Edward, do you have any more question?
Can I just continue it in the Viber because this is gonna kind of take forever for me to do this, and I'm at nighttime, so I'm probably gonna take up until 10 because it's 9:17, and I'm only at the beginning of the last one.
Yes, everybody can continue from Viber later. Nathan, do you have a question?
Yes, I have a question. If we all die, is there still a Buddha living?
I don't understand. You mean like, then that's not clear. Can you please explain?
If all of the students in the class die, if there's and all of the Buddhas die, if there's still a Buddha left?
The Buddha did not answer that question either. The Buddha did not answer whether there is an infinity in the past or finity. And the Buddha did not explain whether there is infinity into the future or whether there's finiteness. We don't know whether all of the beings will achieve Nibbana and become Buddhas in the future. We don't know it. But you know what? I don't want to wait for that. You know, Nathan, I don't want to wait another billions and billions and billions and billions of lives to see that everybody is enlightened. I don't want to wait for that. Because, you know, within that time of waiting, I would have to probably be, you cannot hug your niece when you're listening to me. You see, when you're hugging your niece, I cannot tell you anything. You can hug one knee or keep your legs by the side. Perfect. Thank you very much. So, you can hug one knee, you know, like this. That's totally fine. Yeah, or like that. Perfect. So the thing is that if we wait, you know, for all of those beings to get enlightened and Buddhas, then in the meantime, we will also be born, you know, in hell as animals, as ghosts. And I don't want that, you know. I think I've been born in hell as an animal, as ghost, billions and billions and billions of lives already. Everybody here has been born in hell and as animals, as ghosts, many, 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 many times in the past. It's been enough. It's been enough. So now is the time for us to put an end to suffering. All right. So it was a pleasure to see everybody. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be successful in everything you do.
Okay, I guess it's time to say.
Thank you very much.
When
Can you please?
has great ready.
Can you please put your hand at your chest, please? Everyone say goodbye, Venerable Teacher.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
Venerable
Goodbye.